With today's economy, everybody wants to know, what can I get for $30 at the flea market? Well, $30 goes pretty far at this flea market. We went the other day and we purchased this beautiful handmade church. I'm going to say it's about 2 feet long. It's got the steeple. It has doors that opened. It's vintage, probably from the 40s or 50s. All handmade plywood, beautifully constructed. So, as if that is going to spend your $30, you're wrong. Wait till you see what else you can get, all included in your $30. Here's an amazing piece of a box that could be great for your cover for your junk journal. An old children's blackboard slate from back in the day. An awesome container full of beads. And you could add some more, and you'll see there are more that can be added in there. A shoebox with assorted goodies that would intrigue me for an hour, going through threads and all that. So is that my $30 worth? Nope, not yet. Wait till you see. I got some red work quilt squares, 3 of them, all hand stitched. Beautiful, that I can use in a project. An amazing bird, again red work. A little piece of doily. Another doily garland. A vintage advertising from Lifesavers. Some vintage fabric, all interesting prints. 2 linen napkins. Wait, is that my $30 yet? Nope, still goes on. Here's some amazing buttons. They're pretty big. They're bigger than, I would say they're $half size. An old photograph of 2 friends. A plastic container with more buttons. Look at these flowers. They look like vintage flowers. They look like violets. It's a group of them. Is that my $30? Nope, not yet. We have an embroidery hoop. 2 napkin rings. Some beads. A vintage bell. A little religious piece. Is that my $30? No, nowhere near. Here we have all vintage sewing things, spools, wooden spools of thread, all kinds of stuff, pins, needles, assortment. Look at all this. This would take several lifetimes to use up all this thread on this big box. Nope, I still have more money left. I haven't spent my $30. Here's some thread in a vintage box. An old sewing basket that's empty. Look at this. Replacement cuffs in their original package. A neat can lid that looks like from England. Look how cool that is. Have I spent my $30 yet? Nope, not yet. Here's some old tin lids. This one almost looks like it's, I guess it's tin, but it's interesting. More of these. Here's rings, more sewing things, more threads, just tons of stuff. Here's a children's plastic hanger. More beads. Remember I said there are more beads to go in that case. A vintage doll head. A vintage doll, missing 1 leg, but I still haven't spent my $30 yet. Here's an old Christmas box, and it's got all neat old religious medals, and here's a little relic in here, and a religious medal, and lots more treasures in that box. Here's another old vintage Christmas box. Have I spent $30 yet? Nope, still have more money to spend. Here's a vintage hat, all feathers. Really beautiful hat. Let me find this with a velvet bow on here. Sorry, I did a little twist there. A beautiful old biscuit jar. It has a chip, but it's really cool. It has some insects on the side and just really cool. No markings on the bottom, but it's really cool. You could use it for a large sugar bowl or however you want to use it. Still haven't spent my 30 bucks. So far, look at all I have. Oh, I forgot to mention a hem, a thing for marking hems. All this, and so far, I still haven't spent my 30 bucks. Well, how much can I get for 30 bucks? Well, here I have some neat old vintage buttons, the white ones, another bag of wooden spools. Some of them look really old and really cool. Still haven't spent my 30. And here are 2 glass things that are to be used for paperweights. How cool. I can now make some interesting paperweights using photographs I have. Up here's a set of star cookie cutters. Look how many stars you can make. The smallest one makes a cookie the size of a dime, and they go on up. And look at this. Neat salt and pepper shakers. They look like they're milk glass. A pair of them. Look how cool. A sugar bowl. It's missing the lid, but look how neat. It would be perfect to put a plant in or a little arrangement. Still haven't spent my 30. Another big bag of thread. Just waiting to be used. And now I have another sewing basket. This one I think is made from sweetgrass. If you know anything about baskets. Man, oh man, look. Another container of thread. All kinds of wooden spools in an old cigar box. And now we're getting to the creme de la creme, all vintage beads. Tons and tons of little tiny vintage beads and sequins. All cool stuff and fabric trim. And there we go, $30 at the flea market.